Hi everyone. Today we're going to be finding the y-intercept equation with slope and a point. So here's our equation. Find the slope-intercept equation for a line with the slope of 1/2 and passes through the point 2, 4. So in this situation, we know the slope and we know a point that is on that line. Now these notes assume that the point or the slope is given. Sometimes that's not going to happen. So if you need to find the slope, you are going to refer back to the slope for methods page, and you are going to use the equation y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1. Now here we go. We're going to say the slope is 1/2 because that's what our problem says. So I know that m, which stands for slope, is going to be 1/2. And I also know the point 2, 4. Now 2, I know is going to be x. And the 4 is represented as y. So in a point, you always have an x and a y value. That first number is going to be my x, and my second number is going to be my y. Now that I have this information, I'm going to plug it into the equation y equals mx plus b. I am going to take my 4, which I said was y, and I'm going to replace 4 with y. Now I'm going to take my m and replace it with my slope, which is 1/2. Then I'm going to replace my x with 2. Since m and x are right next to each other, I'm going to put parentheses around 2, so I know that I have to multiply. And then I'm trying to find out what my y-intercept is, and that is represented by b. So all I did was write plus b at the end. Now, instead of my equation being y equals mx plus b, I use the information that I got from the problem to get 4 equals 1/2 times 2 plus b. Now, I'm going to multiply my slope by the point x, or sorry, the value x. So I'm going to do 2 times 1/2, and 2 times 1/2 is equal to 1. I just brought down everything that I didn't use. So I didn't use the 4, so I brought that down. I didn't use the equals, so I brought that down too. And then I didn't use the b yet, so I made sure to include that as well. Now, I'm going to get the b all by itself. We do this because that's the way to find the value of b. Think of b as the loner in the basement playing video games. They don't want anybody by them. So we need to remove this positive 1. And I'm going to remove this positive 1 by doing the opposite operation. This is a positive 1. So I'm going to subtract 1 on both sides of the equal sign to move that 1 away. From here, I'm just going to add going down. I have 4 plus -1. You can also just think of it as 4 minus 1. And that is going to give me the answer of 3. On this side of the equal sign, I have 1 plus -1, or again, you can consider it as 1 minus 1. And you're going to get 0. Then I didn't do anything with my b, so I'm just bringing it down. Well, I know that anything added to 0 is just going to be itself. So I'm just going to keep it as b and have that equal to my value, which is 3. In this step right here, when I subtracted because my 1 was a positive. If my 1 is a negative, then I'm going to add on both sides. Now that I have my b, I'm going to rewrite my equation. Instead of y equals mx plus b, I'm going to write the slope-intercept equation by replacing my m, or my slope, with 1/2, and my b with the value I found, which is 3. Notice how I left x and y in the equation. That's because the slope-intercept equation needs a y and an x in it. And there you have it. You have completed finding the y-intercept from a slope and a point. Time to write down any questions you have.